Hey, welcome to our training video, and I first and foremost just want to say thank you for just spending time watching this video. I just know for a fact that you're going to get a lot of value, and it's just going to help you get one step closer to your goals. My name is Coach Joe, and I'm the founder and head coach of Heartletics. And over the past several years, we've helped out thousands of men reach their health and fitness goals, with not just losing more body fat and having more energy, but most importantly, just improving their overall health. Hundreds of these guys were able to get off their blood pressure and cholesterol medications. And dozens of them were able to get off their diabetes medications by lowering their A1C levels. Once these guys learned what habits to start focusing on, it made the results effortless. It's like these guys finally had a roadmap showing them how to actually get to their goals once and for all. Most importantly, get to their goals and actually maintain their goals, because what they're doing is something that's sustainable for their lifestyle. And once something becomes a habit and part of your routine, you can easily start holding yourself accountable. Think about it like brushing your teeth. Back when you were a child, you probably needed some assistance. But nowadays, you don't need anybody's help or anybody even holding you accountable, reminding you to brush your teeth. So now let me ask you this. What if reaching your health and fitness goals was that easy? Well, guess what? It can be, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this training video. Now, before we dive into this training, let me just say this. If you can make sure that you're watching this undistracted, the kids aren't running around, you're not driving, and in fact, if you want the best results from this training, is go grab a pen and paper. Take down some notes. At the end of the day, I want to make sure that this training is nothing but pure value for you, and that way you can learn the fast track into having success at reaching your goals. For starters, who is this training for? Well, if you're somebody that has been struggling for, let's say, years at losing body fat, and you're starting to realize here that this has a big effect on your overall life. Maybe, who knows, you're struggling to put on your socks and shoes in the morning because you have to suck in your gut. Maybe you're having a hard time, putting on your belt, or maybe you got your old favorite clothes, sitting in the back of your closet. I don't know, maybe you're struggling just to get up and down in the stairs and, carrying laundry around, and you're huffing and puffing for air. You just feel like, something's not right here. I shouldn't be feeling this way. Maybe you're lacking energy. Maybe you have low testosterone levels and you're lacking the stamina in the bedroom to, please your spouse. Maybe you're having a hard time keeping up with the kids. Maybe you're lacking confidence, taking off your shirt at the local pool, or just cutting your grass in the front yard. You're just not really liking the way that you look. You hate walking around the house and there's mirrors, all that's just kind of, pinpointing your flaws. You don't like it. You don't like it at all. Maybe, who knows, you're starting to realize here that your kids are also picking up in some of your bad habits. Maybe you come home from work every day and you're tired. You feel like sitting on the couch. You don't feel like being active at all. And next thing you know, your kids are doing the same. They're on their tablets. They're not being active. They're not playing around. And maybe next thing you know, they're getting bigger as well. And maybe they're getting picked on. Maybe they're getting made fun of. And it's all because of you, unfortunately, because of your bad habits. And it's like monkey see, monkey do. Or who knows? Maybe you realize here that you got a bad, doctor's report. Maybe you got high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or maybe even type 2 diabetes. And you realize here that, hey, after doing a quick Google, research, that half the time when you have these, health conditions and they're giving you all these different medications, the medications are nothing more than just, Band-Aids to the gunshot wound. You're still bleeding out. You're not actually fixing the issue because you're not changing your eating habits and your lifestyle habits and your training habits. And so at the end of the day, you're scared because you realize here, man, this is something I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life. And you're starting to realize here that, maybe that's also decreasing some of those years on top of your life. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but literally look it up. If you're struggling with high blood pressure, struggling with, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, high body fat, I'm sorry, but your life's kind of deteriorating here. You're not going to live as long as compared to somebody that's just in shape. They're eating good. They're training, they're prioritizing health. They're committed to making a change. These guys are going to live longer. And that's why these guys, they're assets. They're inspiring others. They're like being that lighthouse, that beacon where other people can look to them and say, you know what? I want to be like, that guy when I'm in my 40s, my 50s, my 60s, my 70s. I want to be in shape. I want to be active. I want to still show up each and every day, right? I want to be that leader rather than maybe being a liability, where you feel like, your whole entire family's worried about you and your health. You're being a liability because you're holding people back. You're taking your kids to the amusement park and unfortunately you can't even go sit on the rides. You're a liability. And maybe you want to make that change. And who knows? If that's you right now, then I promise you anything. Once again, go grab that pen, go grab that paper. This training is going to change your life, hands down. Here's a quick little intro into who I am. So once again, my name's Coach Joe. I'm a certified personal trainer, certified nutritionist, certified strength and conditioning coach, husband, father, brother, son, just donut connoisseur, right? As you can see from that bottom left photo, I'm just somebody that's pretty much just like you, right? In terms of, hey, what can I do to make a difference? What can I do to inspire somebody to make a change? What can I do to make sure that each and every day I'm filling up my cup so that way I can just pour out more into others? That's all. At the end of the day, this coaching program, just so you know, in terms of what Heartletics is, it has very little to do with me. It has everything to do with you as the person that's watching this training video and getting that sense of inspiration, getting that sense of hope that, hey, guess what? You can make a change. No matter how old you are, or whether you work out in a gym, or whether you work out, at home, or whether, you're 50 pounds overweight or 100 pounds overweight, or whatever the case may be, it does not matter at all. This training video and what Heartletics really is just to give you a sense of inspiration. Heartletics has everything to do with you. And in terms of what is the main mission? Well, once again, how can we help you? How can we inspire you? How can we give you all the tools to become the best version of yourself mentally and physically? How can we help you have more confidence? How can we help you reach your health and fitness goals? How can we help you have more energy? How can we help you pursue your dreams in life? Because guess what? You're starting to believe in yourself. And I know that right now, as you're watching this, you're somebody that is just trying to figure out what is the missing piece to the puzzle. But hear me out. It's nothing that you're missing. It's something that you would need to unlock. You already have it. Everybody already has it. The problem is you don't know how to dig down deep and find it. But I'm going to share with you the secrets right now on how you can do that. This is it. This is the formula for success. It's the knowledge that you probably don't have right now. And in terms of if you're, overweight, or if you're on these medications, or lacking energy, or just, unmotivated and lazy, you're realistically lacking the knowledge. Meaning that, hey, there are some specific things out there that you don't know that I'm pretty sure if you understood, like macronutrients, micronutrients, when and how to make adjustments for your body type and your goals, like how to do all this way where it's sustainable for you, guess what? That's knowledge that is going to help you have success. Now, you also need to make sure that this is suitable and sustainable for your lifestyle. So what do I mean by that? Well, hey, at the end of the day, anybody can cut out their carbohydrates or do intermittent fasting or P90X and all these, crazy extreme workouts and not eat next to nothing and lose weight, right? And I'm sure you probably already tried doing some of those before in the past. And hopefully after watching this video, you don't try those ever again because you realize what's the point. So what you need to really focus on is how do you do something that best suits in with your lifestyle? Napoleon has a quote out there that I absolutely love. And he said, the reason why most people fail is because they give up what they want the most for what they want right now. Meaning somebody's willing to cut out their favorite foods and sacrifice and make all these strict diet restrictions just to lose some weight. But what's the point if it's, sacrificing their favorite foods and it's not sustainable for their lifestyle, where they end up just regaining the weight right back? And once again, maybe that happened to you, where you tried doing something, but it wasn't sustainable for your lifestyle, to where you eventually just, hit the wall and regain the weight right back. You end up just throwing in the towel, going back to your old ways. Here's how to have long-term success. Remember, that's what this training video is all about, is teaching you how to have long-term sustainable success. you need to acquire the knowledge. It needs to be suitable for your lifestyle, so that way you can create habits. Remember the puzzle piece? It's nothing that you're missing. Instead, it's you need to unlock this within yourself. You need to dig down deep a little bit and realize here that, hey, you just got to make some changes to your daily habits. And once you do that, hands down, your life's going to change. This is a simple 3-step formula that always works. The first is acquisition, meaning you need to acquire the knowledge. You need to acquire the skills. Think about it like this. Way back in the day, when you wanted to learn how to drive a car, you had to go through driver's ed school. And so you had a driving ed instructor sitting in your passenger seat, making sure and teaching you how to drive a car and how to maneuver and operate it. Guess what? Eventually, you got your license. Well, as you're driving to and from work and home, guess what? It's not like the person that, way back in the day, your driver's ed instructor taught you how to drive that car. It's not like they're still sitting in the passenger seat anymore. No, because you acquired the skills. You passed the test. You got your license. So let me ask you a question. If somebody was able to give you the knowledge, the skills of learning better habits to focus on you becoming the best version of yourself mentally and physically, do you think that would help you have success? I believe it would. The second step is application. Because at the end of the day, just because you know and have the knowledge of, hey, I should be doing this and, I should be focusing on this, it doesn't mean you're actually doing it, right? You have to make sure that what you're doing, that you're learning, is applicable to your lifestyle, hence sustainable. Hence, hey, this makes sense. We can eat this way. We can train this way. We can fit this into our travels. We can fit this in because guess what? It's applicable to our lifestyle. It's sustainable. The third step is accountability. And at the end of the day, this is truly the heart that's in Heartletics. Because you're going to need people in your corner that's helping you, supporting you, holding you accountable, encouraging you, inspiring you, and making sure that you're on the right track to having success at reaching your goals. So why is all this important? Why should you be focusing on becoming the best version of yourself mentally and physically? Well, I want you to think about it like this. When you decide to start filling up your cup, you're eventually going to start to be able to pour out more into others. For example, let's say you start focusing on doing the right habits. So you're working out. Let's say you're eating better. Odds are you're probably going to feel better. You're probably going to be, a little bit more confident. You're probably at the same time going to have way more energy. You're just going to have a different outlook because you're spending time focusing on doing something that is actually helping you rather than hurting you. So guess what? You're going to have more energy, more positivity for your family. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be more focused. You're going to be more sharp, more disciplined for maybe, your career at work. Also, who knows? Maybe you're going to be more confident where if you don't ever want to hold back your tongue and you actually want to voice your opinion in, a room full of people, or just be more confident to maybe be a little bit more ambitious, whatever the case may be in those different relationship settings, you can do that because you're taking that time to, once again, fill up your cup, which means you can start pouring more out into others. Now, unfortunately, guys have the hardest time when it comes to recharging their own batteries. They're always pouring out into others, but unfortunately, they're never really pouring into themselves. They're never taking time to start devoting to themselves and start focusing on changing around their habits. That way they can become the best versions of themselves mentally and physically. And this is exactly what happens. You constantly pour out into others. No one's ever pouring into you. You eventually run dry, and so does your family, career, relationships. You become a liability rather than an asset. You may be wondering now, okay, so what is it that these guys do in order to get this amazing transformation that happens in their lives? Well, part of them has to do with these 7 essential fat loss habits that we really like to go over and teach our members. And here's a quick rundown. There's calories, and that's learning specifically, right? What are the best calorie ranges for fat loss for your body type? Same thing when it comes to your macros, your macronutrients. What works best for your body type? And also learning when and how to make adjustments whenever there's a metabolic adaptation occurring or a stall. And then there's strength training. Whether you go to the gym or whether you work out, once again, this is all based around your lifestyle. It's not just acquiring the knowledge, but it's, hey, how do we acquire the knowledge, but also with our lifestyle? That's what's going to formulate and create these habits. The fourth habit is NEAT, which stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is one that everybody everyone truly loves with inside of our coaching program because it's so easy and it's such a great tool in order to really speed up somebody's metabolism and helping them lose more body fat. The fifth one is hydration. 6 is stress management, which is huge. I'll say it like this. If you're somebody that's underneath a lot of stress right now, your cortisol levels are probably spiked, and that could be a huge factor when it comes to what's stopping you to actually losing body fat successfully. And the last one is the recovery, which is another big one. I'm sure you heard the phrase, you can either give a man a fish and feed him for a day, or you can teach a man how to fish and feed him for the rest of his life. So just keep in mind that with these 7 essential fat loss habits, they're all kind of personalized and tweaked in a way where it just fits in best with that person's lifestyle, their body type, their goals, everything like that, just to ensure that they get the results that they're looking for. Just a quick recap on the overview. When you acquire the skills, the knowledge, and you're fitting that best in within your lifestyle, guess what? You can create habits. So now what I want you to do is think about the bigger picture here. In terms of just understanding the knowledge, right, for the physical habits, well, that's great. But most importantly, you got to make sure that it's suitable for your lifestyle. Just like at the same time, you're working on your mental habits as well. And that is when you truly start becoming the best version of yourself mentally and physically. That's when you're focusing on the physical and the mental side. That's when you really start seeing a huge transformation in your life. The best part is it's the same simple 3-step formula. You're acquiring the knowledge. You're making sure that it's, applied to your specific lifestyle. And lastly, you have the right people in your corner that's holding you accountable and making sure that you stay on track with having success. Here are the 7 mental habits that we love to focus on at Heartletics that actually led to a huge reason why our members are successful. The first one's gratitude, which is amazing because at the end of the day, how many times are you actually thankful and grateful for the things that's going on right now in your life? Then there's self-reflection, and this is a big one when it comes to really helping our members have more confidence, have more of a winner's mindset. Gaining knowledge, because obviously you always want to continue on this path of becoming the best version of yourself. The fourth one is declaration, and I love this one because how many times have you made a promise? You made a commitment. You made a declaration saying that, hey, I'm going to show up. I'm going to do this. And when you learn how to start making different declarations for your own lifestyle, it's really going to help you out mentally with becoming the best version of yourself. And then the fifth is meditation. In meditation, this could be a time for just deep thinking. This could be a time for visualizing your goals. This could be a time where you're doing maybe a guided meditation or maybe just, focusing some time in prayer. Meditation is not a, one size fits all. It's different for everybody. It's just, once again, that with all of these habits, it's how do we find the best ones that suit in best with your lifestyle? Because that's what we're truly after here at Heartletics. The sixth is to expand and get outside your comfort zone. And this doesn't have to be, quitting your job and doing something crazy and backflips and burpees. No, it could be something as just like, hey, maybe I'm going to do a little bit extra more today. Maybe that's trying to hit a PR in the gym, or maybe that's just calling up somebody I haven't talked to in years and just checking in with them. That's all. And the last and probably most important is the winner circle. Because once again, you become the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most. And at the end of the day, at Heartletics, we have nothing but winners inside of our community group. That's it. We're all winners. And it's like when you surround yourself with, more winners in your life, you're going to become a winner. That's the winner effect. That's the winner's circle. And you just need to make sure that you have the right people in your corner. That's once again supporting you, encouraging you, holding you accountable, and helping you stay on track. That way you can actually have long-term success at reaching your goals. Now, one quick thing to keep in mind is that even though these habits seem pretty easy and sustainable because they are, there still is a few roadblocks out there as to what prevents and stops somebody from ever having success at reaching their goals. Now, if these roadblocks are not relatable to you at all, then congratulations, because you're on the right path to having success at reaching your goals. But I do want to say this, that if, let's just say, one of these roadblocks are relatable to you, then I'm sorry, but you're going to make it very hard for yourself in terms of having long-term success at reaching your goals. You really should identify what are these roadblocks, and best part is, once again, if you can fix them, you're going to have success. You're going to be able to reach your goals and have long-term success. The first one is not knowing how to create sustainable habits. Remember that quote from Napoleon? Why people fail is because they give up what they want the most for what they want right now. So if you're cutting out your carbs, cutting out your favorite foods, cutting out all these different aspects, right, in terms of, your overall lifestyle, and it's not sustainable, then I'm sorry. What's the point? You're never going to have that long-term success. The second roadblock is not knowing when and how to make adjustments. Everybody goes through these metabolic stalls. It's called metabolic adaptation. And knowing more specifically about what works best for your body type, when and how to make adjustments, can easily get around this curve so that way you're constantly in a state of seeing progress. The third roadblock is not having any guidance or accountability. Think about it like this. If no one's really being there to help you, and what do I mean by guidance? Well, what I mean by that, at least what our members get, is 24/7 support. They get access to their coaches whenever they need help. They get access to anybody else in terms of our coaching program whenever they need guidance, whenever they have any kind of questions, anything like that. But also having the right people holding you accountable, meaning that they're making sure that you're showing up each and every day to become the best version of yourself. That way you can pour out more into others. The fourth roadblock is a big one, and that's not having the tools to destroy any kind of self-limiting beliefs. So I'll put it to you like this. If you're somebody that has been over, 50, maybe even 100 pounds, or you've been on medications for, let's say, years, right? Years of having these bad habits. Well, guess what? You might not have the tools to destroy those self-limiting beliefs. The one that comes creeping in saying you're not good enough, the one that comes creeping in saying, whatever you do, you're going to fail at, you're not going to have success at. Guess what? That's called the bad wolf. And it's very hard to have success at defeating the bad wolf, especially if you're all by yourself, meaning there's no support, there's no community, there's no guidance, there's no making sure that you're on the right track to having success. Which leads us into our fifth roadblock, not having any support or community. Remember, that bad wolf, it's a war, it's a battle. And I want you to think about it in terms of this. If you went out to war and it was just you all by yourself, and you're against this big grand army, how successful are you really going to be? Well, at the end of the day, that's the good wolf versus the bad wolf. Remember, the good wolf is the one that's telling you, hey, you can do this. You got this. Keep it up. The bad wolf, well, that's the one that's going to be feeding you all the lies. And at the end of the day, the one that wins is the one that you feed the most. But if you don't have the right support, if you don't have the right community, remember, it's like going out to war all by yourself. It's going to be very hard. So that's why we want to make sure that at the end of the day, regardless of what you're doing in your life, in order to change your habits, you need to make sure that they're developed, they're personalized, they're customized to you, but also giving you all the resources to have long-term success. And we just know for a fact that in anything that you do, when you have the right people in your corner, making sure that you're sticking with it, making sure that you're engaged, making sure that you're focused, making sure that you're going to have success regardless. It makes it so much easier. And plus, it takes a big weight off your shoulder. You don't feel like you have all this pressure on your back anymore because you finally have a team. That's why we like to say that the heart that's in Heartletics is really the community groups. Because when you surround yourself with a bunch of winners, you start to become a winner. Hopefully you enjoyed that training on how to become the best version of yourself mentally and physically, all by just changing your habits. Now, if you need any help at all, or who knows, maybe you just have some questions on specifics for your body type, your goals, and your lifestyle when it comes to creating better habits, then I encourage you to click on the link down below and schedule a good time to speak with one of our coaches from our team. On a quick 15-minute discovery call, we can really find out some clarity just in terms of where you're at today, where you're trying to get to in terms of your health and fitness goals, and what kind of habits that you need in order to get you from point A to point B. On that call, we can share with you everything in terms of what is the roadmap that's going to help you have success. Think about it like taking out all the guesswork. You don't have to waste any more time of figuring out if you're on the right path or not. And most importantly, you don't have to go through all the trial and error of just figuring out what works and what doesn't work for you. And at the same time, we can really figure out what are the roadblocks that you're currently facing that's stopping you from having success at reaching your goals. Just click on the link down below, pick out a good day and time, and you'll be hearing from one of our coaches almost immediately.